Yo, what is going on?
What is up, my man? How we doing? How we doing?
We're doing 6-7 day, 7-7 if with Illinois State. So um, I'll take it. Shout out Rutgers, getting jobbed by the refs, final 4 seconds or whatever, and pulling it out in overtime. So shout out them. Houston Christian, absolute no show today, and Ohio State gave that game away many a times. Fell behind big, came back, took the lead, and then just fell apart in crunch time.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm gonna say on that. Good battle win for me there, but you got me on a battle early. Columbia Cornell. That game was absolutely giving to start the day. 56 all at half. The live over under was at 203 and a half at the end of the half. It ends at 203 exactly. So unbelievable. Columbia wins 104-99. So good win there. Yeah, I'm 5-7 today. So just one game off from you. Unfortunate. Not the 6-7, but the 5-7. So not my best day, but not a kick-ass day, not a kick in the ass kind of day. So that's good. Risk mitigation. I mean, tomorrow's slate looks really tasty, but I mean, Trevor, we got some games right for sure. Charleston money line, we got right. That was a fun one. Pretty easy to say the least. That line was telling for a solid William and Mary team going into Charleston.
Yeah. Yeah, they fell behind early, but they clicked and ended up finding went up pretty big and then got tight again and kind of finished the last 6-7 minutes pretty tight. So it was overall a good game. Games were fun tonight for the most part. I mean, Houston Christian just no showed, so I mean that game wasn't fun. They never had really a chance to come back. But Green Bay outlast Milwaukee, even though they had like a 20-some point lead.
That's the one we got wrong for sure. Money line wise, Milwaukee. Yep.
Yep. They gave it away late. Yeah, Rutgers Oregon was a great game. Sela pulled it out. RGV beat Synchronous Word by 13.
They got
big
one.
win for them. Yep,
I
finally.
didn't bet that one though. Unfortunately, I went against the. That was one I was on the fence about, but I held back, so got a little gun shy there. But unfortunate, yeah, they got it done. RGV did good. Good. They put up like 80 something, right? 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80. Yeah, really good slate. New Orleans got it done -7.5. Penn covered the 2.5. Did you bet Princeton? That was an all-time collapse today.
No, I did not.
I didn't bet
didn't
Penn.
even see the score.
Yeah, it was. Well, I thought I was thinking of you, but then I didn't get a text message about the collapse. I was like, you probably didn't bet Princeton because they were up 11 with like 2 minutes to go, and then didn't cover the 2.5. So,
jeez,
all-time collapse from Princeton.
Yeah.
We've seen that plenty of times, but yeah. Unfortunately, and then the Rhythm play of the day does not get home, unfortunately. But Rhythm has been such a great partner for us. It's been a fantastic season. Our Rhythm play of the day is 27-13, even with last night's loss or tonight's loss. Unfortunate, but this one, I feel like out of the losses we've had, they've been only by a hook. You look at NC Central, DePaul, Villanova. Those are all by a hook, so just shy of like a 9-game winning streak, 10-game winning streak outside of those two games. But this one just was kind of off. Southern really no-showed at home, but Rhythm's been really on, man, and we've really enjoyed their partnership. They're getting their insights and predictive modeling. They've launched a new parlay optimizer, so predictive modeling. They also, if you missed our episode with the Rhythm CTO Brian Beachkowski, his play hit. He had a nice little hit, and I'll tell you what, they pick every single game. They're not just here to pick a few games off the model. They do the CBB madness method here. and like to pick every game and give you a confidence level as well too. So I think that's kind of what we do: bet, no bet. So Rhythm's been such a fun partner, and they got tons of insights, and they're building so many cool new areas of improvement. Parlay optimizer, especially on top of the mind for Rhythm, because they have launched in all different sports a way to kind of optimize your parlay instead of just chopping it up with your buddies on the couch trying to pick one leg each. You don't have to do that anymore. You got Rhythm in your back pocket. So use promo code PFP25 for Rhythm promo code for 25% off your first month. Hit that like and subscribe button too for the Pump Fake Pod at Pump Fake Pod. Hit that like button, helps us out. Super easy. And we appreciate everyone in the chat. It's been even the guys that haze us. We don't mind. We welcome it.
Bring it on.
We don't know anything. So, we welcome all different types of comments. We welcome your sports analysis, your picks. It's been a fun year this year, chopping it up with you guys. So keep us rolling. Hit that like button. Keep that motivation up for us. Stooley, 6 and 7, 5 and 7 for me. So what's that? 11 and 14 overall. We'll be better tonight because I'll tell you what, there is no forcing games tomorrow because I think there's like some fire games tomorrow. I'm talking like literally not a game on the slate where I will be hitting the Stephen A. Smith soundbite. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, definitely. The game's fucked tomorrow. I think we should hop into it.
I think we should too. Go ahead, Trevor. Say this.
Start off with a banger.
Right. Oh, he didn't say it though.
Oh, shall we?
Yeah, there you go.
UMass catching 3.5 at Ohio. UMass back-to-back losses, just lost to Bowling Green by 1 at home. Now they're hitting the road to Ohio. Ohio's coming in, feeling pretty good. They lost to Bowling Green, but other than that, I mean, Maine, Marshall, Bonaventure, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan wins. They've been good. They're feeling themselves. They're laying 3.5 at home. They've been away. UMass, I just don't necessarily trust. Not to mention they've had one road game. They went to Eastern Michigan, lost by 6. Now you're going in there off of an overtime game at home. Traveling to Ohio, first trip there ever. Ohio's coming in feeling good, playing good. I'll take Ohio in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to fade the buzzer beater here and value again in the early
game. I forgot they did win on a buzzer beater.
They were down 22 points at one point to Eastern Michigan. I had Ohio money line, so I kind of wrote that off as I was watching. But then they started making a valiant comeback. Then you hit almost half court, 2/3 court shot. That magic is got to be delayed somewhat. And you know what? I know Massachusetts has kind of expelled their covers recently too. I mean, they covered against Bowling Green barely in a 101-100 game. Outside of that, they've laid some eggs offensively. So, if anything, I'm going to go against the grain here, or against your opinion, just for this one because I think UMass can get it rolling because they just need now a bounce to back. This game's on CBS Sports Network. So listen, I think Ohio will be coming out with all stops, but I'm nervous about their offense after their comeback win and buzzer beater. And I think UMass rebound wise is a huge advantage, and they can defend the threes pretty good as well, which is going to be the catalyst for them on defense. I will take UMass on the cover. I'm going to keep an eye on the line, but I like the 3.5. So I'll bet. I'll keep an eye on it for this show, but I'll probably end up betting the 3.5 before we go to bed here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to pivot. I forgot about Ohio's buzzer beater. Can't back a team off of a buzzer beater win.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's just bad luck overall to do that. So. No, thank you. St. John's laying 4.5 at Butler. Again, let you start off so I don't mush anything. You'll find out if your bet's going to be mushed depending on what side I like in this game.
Butler's been kind of a fun one, right, this season. They've become like a automatic over team, I would say. for me personally. Their over hit against Villanova. It was kind of looking slow and bleak at first, just with Villanova's style of play, and then Villanova just turned it on the second half. And I think we're going to see that here with St. John's bouncing back. We already got the over-under at 160 and a half on FanDuel. I'm going to take that over 160 and a half on FanDuel. I don't think we see much defense in this game from Hinkle. We had Butler kind of start out kind of slow, and now we have two high-paced teams versus some slower-paced teams and one slower-paced team, one high-paced team. So I think we get the two similar offenses. Both teams rebound well. Both teams can get to the line a good amount. I think there's a lot of ways for there to be points. A nice little Tuesday night in January, a little comforting over. I know it's high. I know it's high, but the over just kind of feels nice. FanDuel's got 160 and a half. I'm going to take that. I think we see these teams go well over the 80s. Butler's continuously done it. They only put up 67 after a pretty good scoring first half. They were almost scoring 20 in the first 10 minutes, and then they really slowed down offensively. So I think they're going to be able to bounce back, pick it up, do a good one for Hinkle. Now you got a desperate St. John's coming in trying to get offense rolling. So before taking a spread for a road team, I'll just rely on the points and take the over here. 160 and a half. And that is a bet.
Yeah. If I had to pick a side in this one, it would be St. John's off the loss and to Butler. Butler off of the Villanova game. They just got smacked at home, so maybe they show back up again. But I don't have luck with Butler. If I think they're going to show up, they probably won't. So I'll take St. John's. So congratulations to all Butler bettors out there. You've got yourself a winner. Yes, Warbucks. Just
you got to bet it though, don't you? Though you got to bet it.
No, I don't bet them anymore. And it's even then it still doesn't show.
The last time you bet Butler, we won though.
Yeah, that miracle win, and then I had an under in like a November tournament. Other than that, I can't remember the last time I won Butler bets. So
it's like when you're shooting outside and you're like, all right, I got to leave on a make. That's what you did with Butler.
Yeah, basically. See it go through the net, walk off with my head held high. Done with Butler. Georgia. I think this is 9.5. I'm seeing 9.5 10s.
Yeah.
Now for Florida, I don't get it. I get it's Georgia. Have they hit the road yet this year? They did. They went to Florida State. They won 107-73. Otherwise, they've been playing at home this entire time. You have Florida coming in off of a loss, but I don't think this Florida team's that good. I think they're still getting a little name value from last year. I mean, granted, their bigs have been all right, but it's still the guard play I haven't been too impressed with. I get you've been winning games here, but when you stepped up, you've really struggled. Arizona, Duke, Connecticut, I'll give you those. Whatever, those are tough losses. But TCU, Missouri, Miami, you beat Miami fourth game of the season. New coach, new everything for them. Still figuring it out. But then you lost to TCU also. You beat Providence. So I mean, like. They've had some all right wins, but I just think Georgia's got too much offense. And you got Mike White coming back into, I believe that's his name. Yeah, Mike White.
Yeah.
Coming back into Florida again. I think these guys get up for it. I think there's too much offense for Florida to keep down. 9.5, 10 is just too many points. Give me Georgia.
Yeah, I kind of lean Florida here, laying the points at home. So I'll be honest with you, it's really tough for me to go against Georgia. I think Georgia's got a great story. I'm really pulling for them, but now you have a tough road spot here off of a gritty game on Saturday where you really had to play super physical. I know they're kids; they can bounce back, so it's not really too much of a worry, but 204 combined points, overtime, really tough game. Had to pull a lot of strings to get it out there. I think Georgia could run into kind of a wall, especially down low against Florida. I'm curious to see how Florida's guard play does, how Boogie plays. And I'm not as big of a fan as with Xavier Lee. But anyway, as much as I'm not a fan of Florida and laying the points, I am going to go a little crazy here and take Georgia's team total under. I will let this number climb just a little bit. So check the picks page, what I get it at after the show's over. But I think we see Georgia, one of the highest scoring teams in the entire country. So this bet normally doesn't sound great. The only time they've gone under the current number it's at right now, 82.5, and it's juiced to the over. It's gone to they had 78 against Xavier on a neutral. So they've cleared this. I've watched their team total. It's never been set this low. I think Florida can absolutely run them into a wall a little bit, kind of, and force them to go, maybe low 80s, high 70s, and Florida gets close to covering. But it's just a little too high for me to lay points. I will go crazy here and take the Georgia team total under. My crazy unders worked well on Saturday, so we'll bring that back in these conference play games.
Yep. And shout out Montana State winning. Extra point goes through overtime. What a game. What a game. Shout out Rhythm for Illinois State plus 10. Easy. Cincinnati going to West Virginia, catching 2.5 over under 129.5. I know Cincinnati just played a gross game against Houston. I think it was like 127 points, but 129, that a little low. Like, kind of feels like a gross over. That sneaks over, but otherwise, if I had to pick a side, probably going to go with West Virginia here. To be honest, they just lost on the road to Iowa State. Now they're coming back home. Cincinnati off a home loss to Houston. But anytime they've stepped up this year, they caught Dayton game 3 of the year. Other than that, Louisville L, Xavier L, Georgia L, Clemson L, Houston L. They lost to Eastern Michigan at home too. Like, this team has not been good. West Virginia lost to Clemson, Wake Forest, Ohio State, double overtime by 1, and Iowa State. So they beat Pittsburgh. Their best wins. I think both these teams are pretty equal here. But Cincinnati hitting the road for their second true road game, lost at Xavier by 5 in that great game. So now you're traveling to West Virginia, weird travel spot. I'll take West Virginia to bounce back here at home, and I'll take the over. 129.5 is just too low. I think both these teams can at least get to 60, 65 and push this over. This game's going to be – I think it'll be finishing around the upper 60s. So give me the over 129 too.
Yeah, they're called gross overs, Trevor, and then they're called crazy unders when we take those high-scoring teams with unders and low-scoring teams with gross overs. But, hey, it worked out for me on Sunday for gross overs. So sometimes they're just a little too low based on their tempo of play. Cincinnati just scored 60. I think West Virginia may want to bounce back offensively. I like your bet. If I had to lay a side here, pick a side, I'm going to take the Bearcats. But just because they played Houston, our system, I'm going to lay off on this one. I'll take Cincinnati plus the points. I'll root for your over. I like that. But this will be a no bet for me. These two teams are just a little too crazy for me to bet. So this will be my first no bet on this Tuesday slate.
Don't blame you. Betting a Cincy West Virginia over seems like a suicide mission. But
I could be talked into betting that. Honestly, I'll think about it, but I'm going to hold my own here and just lay off the sides, just because who knows what we're going to get from these two teams.
North Sass guy saying it's 131.5 now, so fucking books. But I got a short home dog here. Georgia Tech catching 3.5. I think they win this game outright. You can't lay points on the road in a conference game when you shoot 60% from the free throw line. You're the worst free throw shooting team in the country. You're down big to Clemson. You managed to scratch and claw back. Couldn't get over the hump. You did shoot 20 of 24 from free throw. In that game, you still couldn't get over, and you're at home. Georgia Tech, I'm not saying they're anything great, but they played Georgia. They played DePaul. They played Drake. They played Mississippi State. They played Duke. They played Duke to a 6-point game at Cameron Indoor. Followed it up by dismantling Boston College by 12 at home. I think Georgia Tech wins here. Syracuse, I get coming off the loss, but this is their first true road game of the year. 4 neutrals and 10 home games. So first true road game. You can't shoot free throws. Georgia Tech, played Duke tight, then they came back and busted up Boston College. I don't think there's that much of a difference between Syracuse and Boston College, to be honest. So give me Georgia Tech catching the 3.5. I will be hitting the money line too whenever it opens for me.
This one's a little wild. We got Georgia Tech, who just we don't know what you're going to get from them, but the home dog is especially very nice. I think Hughes is on the way out. It's setting up perfectly. The way Adrian Autry was starting for Syracuse was scaring me. We know what we want. We want Jerry Mack at Syracuse. So let's get that going. Siena on a run to the tournament, and then get Jerry Mack over to Syracuse. But, man, I'll be honest, as much as I love taking a home dog here, it's tough for me to love Georgia Tech. But I'll go with the short dog here at home. It's a classic conference play. They played a slugfest kind of game against Boston College. That's kind of what Syracuse is going to give you too. If they can break that zone, I think they'll be just fine. Offensively wise, though, Syracuse has been able to push it. I'll take Georgia Tech. Don't love it.
Syracuse first true road game of the year, and we're in January. That could be trouble for them, to be honest. So that's a big one for me. Is just you haven't traveled, you haven't hit the road yet. See what you got tomorrow.
I'll wear my Carmelo Anthony Hughes jersey if they win tomorrow. So I just got it for Christmas. Yeah, it's fine.
Hell yeah, great jersey. That's fucking sick. Bowling Green catching.
I may have to bet Hughes now. Actually, I forgot about
that. Bowling Green catching 1.5 against or at Penn State. I should say. Should get on the right day here. You got anything in this off the rip?
I'm gonna take Syracuse. Fuck Georgia Tech. I'm going with my Christmas present. That's just my cap there. So don't fade me. I'll take Q's on the money line. Squeeze the juice a bit. This one's a little fun to me. You got Bowling Green off of a 100-point game. Kent State, defensively has been a major issue, and just not a team that has been the normal status quo for Kent State. But I think we're getting a buy low spot here. I don't think Bowling Green's a respectable team in the MAC. Don't get me wrong. Maybe one of the best teams in the MAC. But now that we get Kent State in a home spot, it just feels kind of like a buy low situation that I think the books are just giving a little too much respect to Bowling Green, where we would normally see this number around at least 4.5. Kent State offensively could be an issue lately in the MAC. Their 2 MAC games, they haven't looked great. And defensively have been issues. Northern Illinois, you beat Northern Illinois by 4. What the hell? But I think they can bounce back defensively, and maybe to guard the interior a little bit, try to force some turnovers, get some rebounds, and match Bowling Green's kind of style. I am worried about Bowling Green's offense. They've been super hot, but and love Josiah Shackelford for Bowling Green. And Javante Campbell. I think they've been great players. It's been a fun team, but I'm going to go with a buy low situation. Take Kent State money line at home on a little bounce back situation. Kent State gets to the line a ton, and Bowling Green's kryptonite is fouling. So I'm going to go with that cap. It's only a 1.5 spread, so I'll just take the money line just due to the fact that I think that they can get that home whistle, get to the line, and expose Bowling Green's foul issues.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Bowling Green does have foul issues, but Bowling Green's been playing good. I mean, they've gone on the road this year 1, 2, 3, 4 times. They're 3-1 on the road. Lost to Davidson by 4, beat Kansas State, and then they went and beat Ohio on the road, and then they went and beat UMass on the road. This team is, road tested, and they've showed up and gotten it done. I mean, the one loss was Davidson by 4 points, 91-87. And since then, they've lost 2 games, Utah Valley and Miami, Ohio. But Miami, Ohio is the best team in the country. So not going to hold that too much over their head. But I think Bowling Green can get this done. They've lost twice last year to Kent State. I don't think this Kent State team is near as good as they were last year. Granted, maybe they're going to get it clicking, but they haven't really tested themselves. I mean, Purdue was about it. Otherwise, Cornell, Wilmington, Cleveland State, I guess Wright State, good win there. But Eastern Kentucky, Cleveland State, Austin Peay, UMass, Northern Illinois, Portland. It's not like a super battle-tested team. I'll take Bowling Green here. I think they get this done. I think they're the more tested team. They've gone on the road, got 3-1 on the road, and wins over a Power 5 school too. So, and a good Ohio team. So I'll take Bowling Green. I think they get this right. I think Kent State kind of just struggles defensively, and it's going to bite them in the ass tomorrow.
Let's go. Let's battle. Kent State. I'm taking money line though, so maybe they can win by 1.
Yeah, let's get a buzzer beater 1-point win. That works for me. South Carolina catching 6.5. I believe this is 7. No, maybe just against LSU on the road. This is one of the teams that LSU can just beat the shit out of. South Carolina, not that high on. Weren't good last year, but they've stepped up every single time they've stepped up. Butler L, Northwestern L, Virginia Tech L, Clemson L, Vanderbilt L. The wins are NC A&T, Southern Miss in overtime, Presbyterian, Radford, Charleston Southern, Stetson, Citadel, South Carolina State, Albany. They had Northwestern was a 2-point loss, Virginia Tech 3-point loss in overtime. Otherwise, lost by 7, lost by 12. When they've stepped up, this LSU team I think is better than people give them credit for. They went to Texas A&M, 3-point loss, had a chance at the buzzer there. They did get the shit beat on by Texas Tech, but. What are you going to do? It's Texas Tech. But this team does have a win over SMU. They beat Drake. They beat DePaul. Overtime win against Boston College. Not great, but still they played some better teams and came away with wins. South Carolina has not. Now you're hitting the road for your second true road game where you lost to Clemson by 7. I think LSU can get this done. I think it's a big spread for a reason with LSU. I think they're just too athletic and got too many playmakers and athletes on this team. For South Carolina and Lamont Paris. So give me the Tigers laying the points here.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm with you here. I think South Carolina is just got a lot of issues, especially defensively. And they just poop the bed a little bit in these kind of bigger games. And now there's nothing else other than bigger games in SEC play. For South Carolina, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. They almost covered against Vanderbilt. They didn't look great, and they kind of were flirting with the no cover the entire game. So, I think this could be an issue. Both teams off of a loss, so not really a kind of a sleepy spot at all for the Tigers. And defensively, LSU is great. They play both sides of the ball super well. I think South Carolina is they shine on their defense for sure. But LSU likes to take it inside. They can shoot well from inside the perimeter. They like to spread the floor. They can get out into transition and really expose South Carolina, who doesn't force many turnovers at all. And I think LSU is going to have so many possessions. I'm going to take the LSU team total over. I think they definitely cover. I think we see them get into the 80s, and I like them to cover for sure. Let's go Tigers. I think they get this done, and South Carolina lets another team just go by and blow by them in early play here of SEC.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be another down year for.
Sorry, I was lagging there. Sorry, it's a weird gym kind of too. I know LSU. It's a weird gym. It's not always the easiest and friendliest, and if they pack the house, it's definitely not easy. But not always packed at LSU basketball. But it is a weird
more than last year
for sure. Yes. Now they're 12-2. I think there could be a crowd potentially.
Yeah. Here we go. This night game is now a pick. I see Duke. I believe they opened 2.5-point dogs, then went to 1.5. Now it's a pick I'm seeing. Over under 161.5. Michael Brown Jr. Officially listed out earlier today, sometime this morning, like 10 a.m., somewhere around there. Officially out, so he's not in this game, and we still have a pick. Duke has been a little vulnerable at times. I mean, they almost just dropped a home game to Georgia Tech there. Florida State had them on the ropes on the road. They blew that Texas Tech game. Florida, 1-point win. Michigan State on the road, 6-point win, but that game was a lot closer than that. Michigan State had plenty of chances, just couldn't finish it off. And then beat Arkansas by 9 and Kansas by 12 on a neutral. So, I mean, they've got some good wins, but as of lately, they've kind of looked like they're stumbling a little bit. Pat Kelsey is a psycho. I love that guy. I would run through a brick wall and use my eligibility just to ride Pine on that bench and just see everything. I mean, he's electric. He's really turned this program around. And this is a big game. Last year, they failed with that big game with Tennessee to start the year. Now you get Duke coming in. This place will be packed. It will be sold out. It will be jumping. And, you know, Michael Brown being junior out, I think a lot of people are going to say they can't do it, but he's been out. They've been just fine, crushing teams. So at home, huge game. I think they pick off Duke here. I'm taking Louisville on the pick price here. I'll sit around and see what it is. You know, I'll play like a minus 115 money line if it starts to move towards Louisville favored. But I think that Duke money comes in. I think we're going to end up catching 1.5, 2 points with Louisville by the time it's all said and done. So I'll wait, but I will be on Louisville tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pat Kelsey personally. I think he's a classic grandstander, not in a good way. But you know what? He does. He has those guys rolling. I do have respect as much as I give people disdain. There is a respect factor for that. And you know what? If you want a librarian glasses to run your basketball program, by all means, you run through a brick wall for that. But you know what? I will back librarian glasses here. You know, I think you're exactly right. Duke's been able to be exposed. And if Louisville can hang inside with Duke, you know, I don't love when Boozer and all their big men just hang out around the perimeter. You know, I like that I like when they shuffle inside. And I think that they're maybe going to try to do that and try to limit possessions more so than just run and gun. But you know what? I don't think Louisville is going to be able to put up with that. They're going to be just fine. They're going to get out in the transition. They're going to run. They're going to get the home whistle, potentially even against a blue blood Duke who has the ref whistle all the time. But they're going to take tons of threes. Duke's going to be able to have to defend that. I can already see it. Threes banging in the yum center. I want a KFC freaking bucket watching this game, and this is going to be a big one. And the big Duke Blue Devils are going to go down here, and Louisville's going to get a big win and feel good about ACC play. You know, last year they played tough against Duke, and then they kind of just pitter-pattered out in the second half. So I hope they can play for 40 minutes against these Duke athletes, but I think they got great camaraderie. They've been able to prove it, and now they had a tough road loss coming back home in a big game that they've had circled. Yeah, this is classic. You know, they circled that when they lost to Stanford for sure, and have been looking ahead to this for quite some time and want to get this win to get Louisville's program continuously back into the up and up. So if I'm betting on Pat Kelsey, you know what? You know, I don't like some teams, but I will bet on them. Give me Louisville. Let's get it done.
Yep. I agree with Warbucks. Duke next game, that's the spot you take them. Not here. I've already bet this. Michigan minus 23 over under 165.5. Just what are we doing? Don't overthink it. This Michigan team is just skull fucking teams. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They're fucking everybody up, home or on the road. It doesn't matter. 2 road games. They did struggle against TCU 4-point, but they were up bigger in that game. And then Maryland was a 18-point win here. Now you go to Penn State. Penn State just played Illinois really tough with the Palestra. Now they're back home. Michigan has Wisconsin on deck. Definitely not a look ahead. I think they just steamroll Penn State. Penn State, you know, good effort for about 5-10 minutes, and then that Michigan shit will kick on and just run them out the gym. So Michigan minus 23, already laid it.
Yeah, it's so tough not to just lay it with Michigan, man.
Until they're laying 30.
What?
Until they're laying like 30. Like, fuck.
I know. I feel like the books would just like set it at 23.5 every game. But if it wasn't Penn State, I'd be like, dude, I'm taking plus 23.5. They got to cover. If it was like a team they've already beat, USC or something like that. It's just Penn State's so bad. I took Penn State against Illinois. They covered. They played good. But I can't overthink it as well. I think Michigan comes out just strong, gets it done. Maybe I'll bet their team total if I don't take their spread here, but kind of running out of time to probably take their spread. I bet this goes up a little bit. But I do like their team total. I think Penn State can't hang with some of Michigan's players, kind of their athletes that they bring in, and their style of play. And we've seen Penn State give up tons of points in Big Ten play already. So give me Michigan here in the team total.
Yeah, I debated the team total also. They weren't open, so I was like, whatever, 23. They had the team total. They're covering this game. That's for damn sure. Eastern Michigan catching 1.5 at Ball State, over under 134.5. What say you, Mr. Ball State?
Yeah, you don't go into Muncie if you're not trying to do a little meth a little bit. You know what I mean? I think Eastern Michigan's going to get caught up here. Ball State, terrible team, one of the worst teams in the country. I promise you. They're so bad. I've watched them. But randomly they go on spurts here. They beat Lafayette, Mansfield, Lemoyne, and Earlham. They've lost to some horrible teams outside of that. And Worthen Arena will not be jumping. The Bird's Nest will not be chirping by any means. But I think offensively, they're going to be able to pick it up and kind of disrupt Eastern Michigan's defense. I think Eastern Michigan had a good start. I kind of like betting on them when they're getting investigated with the FBI a little bit more. But the college basketball landscape changes a ton. Ball State does a good job of forcing turnovers. They don't foul very much on a short spread, but their defense sucks. I'll give you that. Ball State just kind of sucks, but this is their turnaround game that they need to open up MAC play. They get their one, and they lose like 3 or 4 in a row. I think the line's kind of telling because all the analytics have Eastern Michigan winning by 4 or so points. I think this is just one of those games of college basketball where it's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of game, and we get Ball State randomly picking it up here after their ass kicking against Buffalo. So give me Ball State on the money line, chirp, chirp. And I'm not biased. I bet against Ball State all the time. So I know they suck, but chirp, chirp. Great alumni, great college. It's the Harvard of the Midwest, and it sets you up nicely. So shout out Ball State.
Yeah, you've got a Ball State team at home, wins against Lemoyne, Louisiana, and then 2 D2 teams. Here, Eastern Michigan, they've got the notoriety, beat Cincinnati, beat Oakland. And they've gone on the road and kind of played some decent games. But Wright State, 6-point loss, and then just lost to Ohio on that buzzer beater. But Ball State laying points. You got 316 in KenPom versus 205, and they're favored on they should win by 3 on KenPom. Now they're catching 1.5. This is fishy. Give me Ball State. I will take the money line also.
Let's go. You should come to Muncie.
Yeah, maybe.
No, you never want to go there.
Western Michigan catching 13.5 at Miami, Ohio. Over under 161.5. Do we fade Ohio here? I know it's scary, but they're getting so much notoriety. They just came off the huge Akron win. Now they're at home playing measly old Western Michigan. I kind of think Western Michigan hangs around. I think Miami has a little dull game. They win this game by 7 or 8. But something's just telling me that Miami, Ohio is not going to cover this game, especially off of that big Akron win. Everybody's talking about them. They're getting their day in the sun. I think they come out flat here, feeling themselves a little bit. I'll take Western Michigan with the 13.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go I like this as well. I'm going to go in a different angle. I'm like, I'm going to take the team total over for Miami because they can score. But I'm actually going to take the team total over for Western Michigan here at 73.5. I think they get above this number. They've done it pretty consistently for being even a slow-paced team. Now you have a up-tempo, high-efficient scoring team in Miami, Ohio, and this is a team where with Miami, Ohio, that they could be a close game throughout the whole way, and then you lose this cover in the blink of an eye, which is a little brutal. So that was my worry, but I'm going to think that Western Michigan can keep up with the pace, can keep up with scoring, and get it done. We saw Miami, Ohio play a very big defensive game. I expect some LA Fitness ball tomorrow for both teams. I think Western Michigan's team total over gets it done against Miami, Ohio, but Miami, Ohio continues and gets a win and goes to 16-0 in the nation's one of their nation's longest win streak for the Redhawks and Travis Steele.
Yep. I'm not calling for a money line, but I think Western Michigan hangs around.
Yeah.
This is simple. Akron just lost. Central Michigan is booty cheeks. Booty cheeks, as Bubba Sparks used to say. I will lay it with Akron, minus 22.5. No problem. They're going to run them out the gym. They're going to score 100 points in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I will lay it with Akron. Not afraid of that big number, especially off the loss. Gross is going to have these guys rolling, and we're going to see them back in normal form here. And I think the books know it as well, laying this many points and hanging this big of a number. Let's go Akron.
Yeah, I just bet it. I got 23. So yeah, no problem there. Akron is one of those teams where when you see them lose, you lick your chops for the next game because they will not come out flat 2 games in a row. Georgetown catching 2.5 at DePaul, over under 145.5. I've got some breaking news. I don't know if this has been out or not. Vince Iwuchukwu is playing for Georgetown tomorrow. Unless something goes off, he will be playing for Georgetown against DePaul. DePaul laying points at home. I don't mind DePaul. I think they're much better than what they were. Obviously, like that's not a hot take here, but just beat Xavier. You got UConn on deck. Georgetown coming in off of a loss at home to St. John's. The last time they hit the road to beat Marquette by 9. And then lost at North Carolina by 20 and beat Maryland by 10 on the road. So they've gone on the road, got it done. I don't think DePaul is too different from like Maryland or Marquette, to be honest. So I will take to Georgetown with the points. I just think DePaul is not quite there yet. Georgetown has played similar teams like this and on the road and got it done. Not to mention coming off a loss. So I will back Cooley and company here, catching the 2.5.
Yeah. I'm with you here. I don't know if I'm going to bet this one. Check the picks page on that. I'm not super confident. I took DePaul last game on the money line. That was sweaty enough, even though ended up winning by like 9. And I agree. I think DePaul's picked it up. I like what Chris Holtman's done. But I think Georgetown, their style of play, they don't turn the ball over very much. They kind of run more tempo than DePaul does. And defensively, Georgetown can cause some issues, especially in the interior. For DePaul. So, yeah, I like Georgetown. I'm with you there. Check the page. If I bet it, I'm most likely not.
All right. We got Iowa laying 6.5 here at Minnesota, over under 129.5. Is this another low total? I know Iowa's defense is really good, but, they can score. I mean, we're asking for Minnesota to get 60. Can they get 60? That's the real question. They're at home here. Iowa off of the UCLA home win. Now you go play Minnesota on the road. Then you back at home Sunday against Illinois. Minnesota off of the Northwestern road win. Last time they won, they beat Indiana at home. They they hit the road to Purdue. They lost by 30. So I mean that's a little bit different circumstance here, but I just don't. I know it's the barn. I know Iowa's looked good. This is a lot of guys' first times playing in these environments and whatnot. But 6.5 on the road. They're 0-2 on the road. Lost to Michigan State, then they lost to Iowa State. Can they get this here? I think they can, but I think Minnesota hangs around at the barn. They've gotten up to beat Indiana this year. Iowa coming in. They've got Illinois on deck. It's a little sandwich road spot here. Give me Minnesota. They're going to keep this close, maybe even hang around and win.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over here, and I like Minnesota as well. I mean, I don't really know, the barn enough is just a weird place to go play. And I think we see Minnesota keep up. And if I like Minnesota capping, I think we see this over just barely trek over as well. I like Minnesota plus 6.5. I think they get it done. We see this go to be like a 73 to 68 game with the foul game kind of ending it, where Iowa does get it done on the road, but Minnesota hangs tough. I think they're one of the teams where they're well coached. They're a good disciplined team. They can kind of go on random hot spurts, and I do like their offense, and I think Minnesota's got a bright future under Medved, but they're not going to get this done on the win, but I think they're going to cover, and we're going to see a little more points than normal. So, yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota or the over. Check the page for those two, which one I take there. So, yeah, go Gophers.
Yeah, like them. Toledo laying 6.5 at Northern Illinois. What say you?
Yeah, Northern Illinois off of a good win here. Not good win, but a good game where they fought hard. They just didn't lay down and get their ass kicked. And Toledo's kind of been, always around this number. But defensively, they've been a major issue and a liability. I'll lay it with Toledo here. But this is going to be a no bet for me just because defensively they've been, like I said, an issue. They haven't been covering this number very much. And we saw Northern Illinois kind of expend their offense on the road a little bit. So I think, what Northern Illinois team are we going to get was kind of my cap, but I can't trust laying Toledo this many points yet. I need to see it from their defense first. So lay it, no bet.
Sam, everything you said, retweet. Toledo, lay it, no bet for me. No thank you. I got a bet in this game. UCF catching 4.5 on the road, over under 173.5 at Oklahoma State, laying 4.5. You got UCF off of the bounce house win against Kansas. That's a house of horrors for Kansas. Always struggled there, and now you're hitting the road to a really feisty Oklahoma State team. They did just lose to Texas Tech by 22. Texas Tech was 17 of 37 from 3 versus 8 of 26. So when you got a team shooting 46% and making 17 of them, it's going to be tough to hang around with anybody in that team or in that area. 14 and 19 at the free throw line, so they made their shots, but just tough shooting night to get over for them. But UCF coming in just beat Kansas at home. Now you're going to hit the road for your first true road game of the year to Oklahoma State at Stillwater. Last year when they beat Kansas, was that Kansas they beat last year? Or was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago?
I think it was last year.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago they won against Kansas at home. Followed it up with a 5-point loss at home. Dawkins, I think, has got a better team. I think this team's solid, but horrible spot. First true road game. You just beat Kansas. You're hitting the road. You got Oklahoma State off a loss, returning back home. And it was just one of those nights where Texas Tech couldn't miss from 3. Outscored them by 33 points from the three-point line. Anthony Roy's like a 40-some% three-point shooter. They got shooters all over this team. Oklahoma State's going to run it up. They're going to win this game by double digits. I already bet Oklahoma State -4.
Well, I bet -3.5. 3.5 available. Shop around. I already bet this as well. It's one of my favorite plays for the day tomorrow. I think we see Oklahoma State bounce back for sure. It's just one of those losses where maybe a team's not quite ready to compete with one of the upper echelon teams in the Big 12, but they're going to be feisty and they have a bright future ahead and a lot of potential. And now they get a UCF team who shout out my guy Warbucks in the chat, said fat and happy on one of the other teams. I like that term. I think they're going to be doing that as well for sure. I think he was talking about DePaul, but I think they're going to be fat and happy. UCF will. Now they go into a road spot where it's another weird gym to shoot at. Give me Oklahoma State. I took them already -3.5. So chop around.
Yep. George Washington catching 3.5 on the road at Dayton, over under 152.5. George Washington, my preseason pick to win the A-10 here. Hitting the road, they just beat LaSalle, beat Richmond. Dayton coming in, just beat Loyola Chicago. Had to come all the way back in that game and win by 2. Hard-fought game. Now you're going to go home and play George Washington, who's been pretty good. I mean, their losses are McNeese, Murray State, Florida, and then they somehow lost to Delaware at home by 12. So, I mean, they've stepped up, played some really tough teams. It was a 6-point loss to McNeese. It was a 1-point loss to Murray, and then a 10-point loss to Florida. So they've played these teams really tough. You're playing Dayton. I don't think Dayton is really that amazing. When they've stepped up, they've lost Liberty, Virginia, BYU, Cincinnati, all L's. Canisius, UMBC, Bethune-Cookman. You beat Marquette. Everybody does. NC Central, they beat Georgetown in overtime. East Tennessee State, North Florida, beat Florida State, then Fordham and Loyola Chicago. So the power teams they played, they're not really great power teams. And when they played the good ones, they failed. George Washington, I think, is a really, really good team. Stumbled a little bit, but they're starting to get their feet back under them, starting to blow out teams and win by margin again. I will take George Washington with the +3.5, maybe for a little bit of money line. And this one going into the UD Arena and playing it down to the wire.
Yeah, this is a great game. I love Chris Caputo and this George Washington team. You know, I, as much as I love taking Dayton at home, and now we get Dayton laying points, feels like a weird number, especially to a team that had to take Loyola Chicago down to the wire on a buzzer beater almost. So going to fade that. Go with George Washington as well with you. Two clashes styling here. You got George Washington running and gunning, super high-paced, efficient offensive team. Then you got Dayton, who's kind of a juggernaut defensively versus offensively. So, both teams get to the line a good amount. They don't foul too much. So I think this number is perfect. I think we see a very close game, and George Washington fights Dayton till the very end, and I think potentially steals one for sure. I like the way that they can play. I think they want to rally, get a good win, and get rocking in UD Arena. And we just haven't seen Dayton really covering these last 2 years at UD Arena as much very easily as it was in the past. So I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to take George Washington plus the points. And I think this line's just a tad bit telling. I think if Dayton was supposed to win, I'd feel more comfortable betting on them with just a little bit higher than 3.5 numbers. So give me the Colonials. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Lindenwood, SIUE. This is a pick 'em now. I'll fade Lindenwood on the road in conference play. You're gonna finally lose one of these, but I ain't betting it. SIUE, no bet.
Oh, I said I'd never bet SIU Edwardsville again. But hey, we don't have to lay 5.5 with them or a multiple possession number with them. Now we get another buy low spot from a hot Lindenwood team. So I don't blame them for putting this line there. But I'll take SIU Edwardsville. This will be my final time betting on them if they don't win this against Lindenwood at home. So, screw. I probably won't. I don't know. We'll see.
I ain't betting this game.
We'll see. We'll see if I bet this. Check the page for that one, but most likely we'll bet it for the last time.
Texas Tech heading into Houston, catching 6.5, over under 141.5. I kind of like this over, but was the last time these two played, was that the ejection game? If you know what I'm talking about. Who was it got tossed? No, they played Houston at home, lost after they beat Houston in Houston in overtime. So they played since, but Texas Tech, I think they're pretty good. Houston's looked good. I mean, they just went through a grinder against Cincinnati, 67-60, and then Arkansas was a semi-tight one. Notre Dame was too. Basically, like, all of these have been tight when they've stepped up in competition. I know they've all been on like neutrals, so this will be the first true home test of a big school here. But they haven't looked incredible. I mean, the last three, Arkansas was a 9-point neutral win, Middle Tennessee 9-point home win, and then Cincinnati Grinders 7-point road win. And they, whenever they've scored more points, they've given up points, and then when they've slowed down, it's been an ugly game. McCaslin really defensive oriented, Sampson really defensive oriented. I get it, but I think it's just too much talent on both of these teams for this to go under, especially after Houston just went through a grinder. I think they could be a little lax at points here at home, but I think it's just too many points. I'll take 6.5 with Texas Tech. I think this comes down to the wire. Houston's not really blowing out any of these upper echelon teams when they've played them this year. So I will take Texas Tech with the 6.5.
Yeah, I'll go with the over here. I like this over. I took the over in Houston, Cincinnati, and it was not close to hitting, and then it almost did hit, and then they go on a dry spell the last couple minutes. Cincinnati kept it too close for the foul game to really take it over. But it was close, and it shouldn't have been. And I think we're going to see potential for that here, especially if we like Texas Tech to keep it somewhat close. Got a lot of athletes. I think we see a mid to high 70s to low 70s game here. This number squeaks by in the end. Rhythm kind of likes the over a little bit too. So keep an eye on what our play of the day is at the end of the episode. But I will take the over for Houston and Texas Tech. It's just not the same Houston team where they're defensive juggernauts and like to play more defensively heavy. They really have been able to give up points too as well. So I think this over is in play here, and Texas Tech keeps it somewhat close for most of this game.
Yeah, let's go to Tech.
I can't bet it. I can't. I'm with Ken, my man Ken. I appreciate you, my guy. I can't mess with that spread either, man. I cannot do that. I don't like it. So.
It's not bad. Texas catching 10.5 at Tennessee, over under 153.5. Rick Barnes, former employer, coming into town here. Tennessee off of a loss to Arkansas. Texas off of the overtime home loss to Mississippi State. They played one true road game. UConn, they lost by 7 or 8. Can't do math. Now they got to go play Tennessee. Tennessee off of a loss on the road. Second true road game of the year. They lost to Syracuse and Arkansas now. Over 2, they're back home. I kind of want to just take Tennessee. I think they're just going to suffocate them and drown them out, take them to the deep end, and make things really rough for Texas tomorrow. I'm just not really impressed with Texas. I mean, you beat NC State and shot in Maui where the rims were popping. I mean, 102. You also shot lights out, 16-32 from 3-point land. And you still needed to score 102 to get that done. Anytime they've stepped up, they've failed, and their wins are as followed: Lafayette, Fairleigh Dickinson, Kansas City, Ryder, Southern, Lemoyne, Maryland Eastern Shore, and then the NC State Hawaii win. They have not been impressive. They're hitting the road. Tennessee's pissed off. Rick Barnes, former employer, he's going to get after him. Give me Tennessee laying the 10.5. I think it's going to be like the Michigan State game tonight.
Yeah, I'm laying it here as well. Sean Miller just was bagging on his team to the press pool already. I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but it was something like, you tell your kid to do something and then he does it, but he continues to do it, or something like that, along the lines of that. Just throwing his team way under the bus. As much as that looks like a motivational factor where they'd get up for that, keep that shit in the locker room, man. Don't be going to the press. That's a weak-ass move. A classic Coach Miller move, not Sean, Archie included. It runs in their DNA. They are weak-bodied, sweaty guys. I think he's going to be too sweaty for this one. Rick Barnes is going to blow them out. Give me Tennessee on the lock, -10.5. Lock it up. They just came off a loss. They're going to be ready to go. This orange is going to burn the burnt orange down there in Texas. Horns down. Screw your coaches throwing your players under the press pool. It's a weak move. Mick Cronin, freaking Sean Miller, go cheat on another freaking school, go rush off to another school and run away and bounce around and play pinball around the freaking country.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bloodbath for Texas. This is going to get ugly. Tennessee up. Let's go. Also, we forgot shout out Dot for the donation. He took we took the Penn money line, not the 2.5.
No.
That is brutal. That is brutal, my guy.
Thanks for the dono, Dot. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. But
appreciate you,
damn,
bro.
that's tough. TCU catching 6.5 at Kansas. Is Darren Peterson ever going to play?
Something's wrong.
Council can only do so much. The fog lane 6.5. It's tough to fade the fog, but it hasn't been the fog as of late. Like they have dropped some home games in years past here. West Virginia came in and beat them. Houston came in and beat them in that crazy game. Texas Tech came in and beat them last year. Year prior, they lost to BYU at home. So they were also really good that year. But I just don't think they're that great. TCU catching 6.5 here. I'll take that. I think TCU keeps it close. TCU coming in off the Baylor win. This is their first true road game of the year, so I'm not a big fan of that. More of just a fate of the injuries for Kansas, and they haven't looked like themselves. And Bill Self looks like he's not having any fun anymore now that everybody can pay the players. So I'll take TCU with the 6.5. Not sure I bet this though.
No, wrong. I think we're getting a good price here for Kansas. I'll be taking the fog here in the home crowd. Don't care about Darren Peterson not being able to play here and there or whatever the hell they're dealing with. It is the next man up kind of situation. So I think there is some massive problems for the Jayhawks this season. But I think this is another buy low spot here for LA. I do like what Jen said, a little money line parlay piece. So maybe a Houston, Kansas, something else action maybe for a 3-team. So yeah, maybe we'll do another rhythm parlay optimizer here. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, I like Kansas. I'll take the fog. Feels like a buy low situation where the 6-man's going to take this one over. Take it now if you like Kansas.
Yeah, I feel like Kansas bet it. It's just going to go up. That's for sure.
Yep.
UCLA catching 3.5 at Wisconsin over under for 152.5. Give me UCLA on the side. Just lost to Iowa. I don't think they're going to get swept in this road trip. Wisconsin is, to quote the great Bubba Sparks again, booty everywhere down there in Madison with this Badgers team. They are gross. They are terrible. They don't play defense. They just give it up too. So I like UCLA plus 3.5. I think they get what they want. They're playing a little bit more offensively this year too. And Wisconsin doesn't play defense at all. So I like the over 152.5. I like UCLA in this game. Badgers fucking blow.
Yeah, I love the over here. I'm going to be betting that. Another rhythm play that they like over-wise as well. Just don't want to take a side here. I don't like UCLA, but love Donovan Dent. Love some of their players that they rostered, but just not the biggest Mick Cronin fan. And now we don't know which Wisconsin team we're going to get. They've proven that they're ass on the grand stage, and just kind of lack kind of like an identity. I feel like this season Wisconsin does, where they don't have their main guy, and just lack their anchor piece, to say the least. So I'll stay off it. I'm losing 2 in the Kohl Centers in a row is crazy. I don't love laying points with this Wisconsin team, but I will think there's going to be scoring points, especially UCLA off of a road dud against Iowa, only putting up 61. I think they bounce back offensively. This thing goes over the 152.5.
Yeah, don't blame you. For those, I saw Ken's comment: Houston, Kansas, Tennessee moneyline parlay plus 101 on DK for those 3. So,
what was that? Kansas, Tennessee, Houston.
Houston moneyline. Yeah, sure you can probably get a little bit better price depending on where you go, but that is where it is at.
3 home teams too. I like it.
Yeah, maybe if you want to juice the odds up a little bit, Oklahoma State a little minus 185 in there, keep it under minus 300.
That'd be
boost
crazy.
It up a little bit.
I don't know. Stick with your plus 100. Stick with your plus money. That one's sketchy, but that would be the anchor of the odds for sure. So
yeah.
And shout out my guy Coach, longtime listener, best show on all YouTube. To the moon, as the chat says. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. New Mexico laying 1.5 at Colorado State. Colorado State off of the Grand Canyon road win. Grand Canyon was one of my big bets on Saturday that fell flat on their face. You got that big road win. Now you're coming back home to play New Mexico, a New Mexico team, new coach, basically new roster, 347th in minute continuity from last year. So not much there, but this team, they've got wins over Mississippi State, Santa Clara, VCU. They played Boise, fairly tough until the last 3 minutes of that game. They played them tough. So I mean, and then they just beat Wyoming at home by 20. Now you're going to hit the road to Colorado State. Third true road game, lost to New Mexico State, which we were on the first one. Then they went to VCU and won also. Now you've got Colorado State coming in here after a big road win back home. I think it's a flat spot for them. That was one game they stepped up in against good competition was Colorado State. Got the win, or Grand Canyon got the win. Now they're coming back home. I think they fall flat. I like New Mexico in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to battle you here. I don't love it because I think New Mexico is the much better team for sure. And I could totally see them laying off a little bit. But I think they're going to come out just a little bit more pissed off just because they already did lay an egg at home against Nevada here. In Fort Collins, offensively they go on major spells at times. At least they have the last to open up Mountain West play. There definitely could be a hangover spot open, but New Mexico, they've won 9 out of their last 10. They could maybe feel them just a tad bit, a little hangover. They got Air Force going out there on Saturday, so 2 road stretches. I think this is a loss for them upcoming. I'll take Colorado State at home on the short play. But again, this isn't the normal Colorado State team we know. I'm not as impressed with them. So I think that's why we're seeing these odds here. But I'll go ahead and take it and dive into the stink a little bit against the better team in New Mexico. So let's go Rams.
Fair enough. A&M catching 6.5 at Auburn. I believe this is getting steamed. Auburn's laying 8 now, I see. So yeah, just here to fade me. Yeah, you would have had a good day today. Not tomorrow, Toast. Not tomorrow. Your voodoo Satan shit will not work on me. Texas A&M 6.5 at Auburn, or 8 at Auburn, over under 167.5. Kind of like A&M. I know you're going to the jungle, but shit, New Orleans went into the jungle, or whoever that was, and Bethune-Cookman went into the jungle and almost pulled it out. Texas A&M, I think, is a good team. Like, Buckyball is really starting to click for this team. I mean, I know they played minimal competition, just skirted by LSU at home, but 111 on Prairie View, 118 on East Texas A&M, 112 on Jacksonville. They put up 120, 109, 104. Like, I know those aren't great competition, but they still have the offense to hang around. Auburn doesn't really scare me this year. I know they've been playing a little bit better, but when they've played good teams, they've lost. I mean, they beat NC State, St. John's, Oregon. Otherwise, Houston, Michigan, Arizona, Purdue, Georgia, all losses, which you can't really fault them for, maybe the Georgia one, but you can't really fault them for a lot of those. Those are top teams. But I think Texas A&M is better than people kind of give them credit for. I think this is a little bit of inflation on the jungle aspect. A&M's got guys that run and gun and can score buckets. I think they're hanging offensively, even if Auburn's, cruising. I think A&M's going to get buckets and hang around. So give me A&M with the 6.5. Not sure I bet this, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Auburn team total here. I think they roll here, and we see this number go up. Texas A&M, one of the fastest teams in the country. We know that from Buckyball and Samford last year, that in the last couple years. But that is transferred to this Texas A&M squad. They are running and gunning. They're putting up 100 points against these lower teams. In the games they've lost against these bigger teams, they've all exceeded the team total over. Now we get Auburn off of a loss. I know that they just put up 100, so it is a little concerning. But I don't think they have a choice. It's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down for the rest of mostly SEC play, but especially against the A&M and the Aggies. And, maybe Auburn tries to control the tempo, but they like to run fast as well, too. So I think with that, we see Auburn go over, and Texas A&M's defense doesn't have an answer for Auburn off of a loss in the jump.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to do this game before I skedaddle out, and then there's, I think, 4 or 5 left for you. But NC State laying 13 at Boston College, coming off of a loss. Boston College off of the Georgia Tech loss on the road. They beat nobody this year. NC State, maybe a little fugazi, but win over UAB, Auburn, or I'm sorry, UAB, VCU, Boise State, Mississippi, Wake Forest. Got embarrassed at home by Virginia. You lost by 15 on your home floor. That's embarrassing. If there's a spot you want to get after that, it's, ideally Boston College at NC State. But regardless, getting to play Boston College. Boston College has dropped plenty of home games to teams they had no business dropping games to. I think Will Wade and NC State comes out pissed off here. And Boston College really struggles. Maybe Darian Williams kind of gets it going again. This would be the spot to really get clicking against a bad Boston College team. I'll lay it with NC State. Big number on the road. I will lay it. This is Boston College at the end of the day.
Yeah. Ken Hatt, BC's ACC punch bag. Danny Dumpship agrees with you. I'm with you. Yeah, lay it with NC State here. You got Will Wade absolutely pissed off, and they just looked horrible against Virginia. Couldn't score. And just didn't really care to play defense at all. And now they get Boston College on the road in Chestnut Hill. It is a lot of points to lay with a team on the road in conference play. But, yeah, I think NC State comes out strong here and gets it done as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we can go through this game real quick. Utah State's laying 21.5 on the road at Air Force. Utah State. They beat San Jose State. Now you got Air Force coming in here is not good. Wins over Alabama State, SIUE, and IU Indy. 3 back-to-back wins to put them to 3-4 in the season, and since then they've dropped 7 straight here. And I mean, South Dakota beat them, Navy beat them, Northern Colorado, and then Pacific, San Diego State. Like, they've lost to some awful teams, and they've lost to some good teams. Utah State's a really good team. They are hitting the road. Last time they hit the road, they won by 9 at Fresno, beat Charlotte by 26, and then lost to South Florida for their first true road game. They got Boise on deck, so maybe a bit of a look ahead, kind of take the foot off the gas. But I just don't see how Air Force has any success here. Utah State used to the elevation. I would lay with Utah State, but I kind of want to play an Air Force under. I just don't see them having any success or cracking, like 60 points in this game, to be honest. I'll take the Air Force team total under. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's probably going to be around 56, 57.5.
57.5, yeah.
Okay. Yep, no problem. I will take the under 57.5. I think Utah State's defense shows up. Maybe the offense is a little sluggish, but or they just completely mollywop them and win this game like 82-43 or something like that. So give me the Air Force team total under. I just don't see them cracking 60 in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to semi-battle you here in a sense. I'm going to take the full game over, but I'm going to wait to bet it because it's gone down from 137 to 136 already. So I think this number is going to go down. People taking the under, just banking on Air Force laying an egg. But you can't score 39 points 2 games in a row. A team that scores 39 points, I'd expect somewhat of pride and bounce back from our troops there over in Air Force. But I don't want to take them spread just for how bad that they can be offensively. But even if Utah scores 100, all they need to do is score 36, 37. If Utah State scores 90, we can get there. So I'll semi-battle you and take the full game over versus a team total in this one. I think it just barely creeps by, and Utah State can take it themselves by scoring 100.
Yeah, we'll find out as long as Air Force stays under. Danny Dumb shit. Appreciate you, but go Pack Go. We're favored for a reason. You'll find out. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Huff's gonna finish off the last 4 or so with you. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm assuming Wednesday's another banger slate. So, yeah, we'll rock then.
Yeah, another
Awesome.
banger slate Wednesday, another banger slate Thursday. We're back on a routine. Thanks, Trevor.
No problem. We will see you guys tomorrow. Toodles.
I'm still here, rocking solo pump fake pod sesh. Hell yeah, let's go. Dang, let's go. A little solo sesh here. Can say what I want to now. I got the mic. Let's go, chat. What should we talk about that's not college basketball? Let's freaking go. Solo session, baby. Go do a little solo oney here on Wyoming UNLV. Wyoming is laying 3.5 against UNLV at home. Over under is 157.5. UNLV just had a great win against Air Force. Maybe not great win, but they won 67-39. Now you got Wyoming here at home. It is a little tempting to lay points, especially off of Wyoming with the loss. Just kind of looked horrible offensively. Now you get UNLV, who's won 3 in a row here. You don't know which kind of team you're going to get, and then you go into Laramie. So this number's already up to 4.5. I will take that and bet on Wyoming. This is always a tough place to go into in Laramie. And we saw Wyoming really step it up, I think, in non-conference play for sure. But hopefully they don't just lay a complete dud in Mountain West. I want to see them step it up. They were super good at home. Offensively has been solid. So I'd like to see them back into their high-scoring ways a little bit against a UNLV team. I think they have a chance to do that against a UNLV that fouls a lot. I think that Wyoming can get a ton of second-chance opportunities. But the problem is Wyoming fouls a good amount too. So we're going to see tons of different runs here. I think we're going to see some 8-0 runs from both of these teams, 10-0 runs from both of these teams a couple times. And you're going to see very happy laying points, very happy taking the plus spread. But a lot's going to change. Tons of variance in this one. So let's go, Wyoming. And yes, he does. Laundry Motorsports. Let's freaking go. Laundromat Sports. Must say, UNLV, dude, got a hell of a stash. Yeah, I love that logo. It's solid. That's a little too modern. The old one's fun with the gun. But yeah, and yes, Ian, let's get rolling. Unfiltered tonight. It's midnight too. It's after dark. All right, San Jose State versus Fresno State. Over under is 146.5. I'm tempted just to take all the home teams here in Mountain West play. Fresno's lost how many games in a row? 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Maybe they're back on the investigation. But I hate the San Jose State team. Not a fan putting my hard-earned money on them, but it's a short enough line for me to bet this. I think, I would hate to lay multiple possessions with the Tim Miles San Jose State team, but at home, I think they can pick it up offensively. They've gone to bat competing with these high-tempo teams with how their style of play is. But I think that they can really expose Fresno State, kind of slow Fresno down and play that kind of slugfest kind of game, slop you up a little bit. So let's go Spartans. Let's run in that little order, whatever you got, that little freaking formation that you have. Let's take San Jose State at home. I will bet this for sure. Short home dog blind bet. Let's freaking go San Jose State. First off, these two teams are terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But those are sometimes the best games to bet on. Final game of the night. San Diego State versus Nevada. Over-under is 143.5. That Nevada logo looks like it's up to no good. Look like I just robbed you a little bit, and he got away with it. Just like I'm burning your freaking house down or something. But San Diego State, where have we seen them thrive with their best teams? It's defensively, and this year it has been an issue. And not the same defense. And now you got a San Diego State team that just had to play 3 overtimes on Saturday. I know that they got enough rest for sure, but they still put up 110 points, gave up 107. We haven't seen San Jose State really shine defensively against teams that they are evenly matched with. They beat up on San Jose State. They beat up on Air Force. But those are lower teams in Mountain West play. And then you sneak one by with Boise State and probably exhaust a ton of stuff. Their catalyst to get away with this on the road and win this game is shooting threes. Nevada struggles to shoot threes. I think at home they could be able to get up to do that. And now we get another short home spread here in the Mountain West. I'm going to go with the home team here and take Nevada and the Wolfpack and lock up Steve Alford. I think Nevada's really come along after a slow start to non-conference play, but they know when to win and when it matters. And now what? They've won 7 games in a row here. I think this continues. They don't lay an egg. They get up. They kind of already did that on the road against Fresno State in a semi look-ahead spot potentially against San Diego State. I think they play well here, get it done, and then maybe slop it up against Wyoming at home and do the classic Steve Alford there. But I think they get up for this one. I'm going to hold my nose here and bet on Nevada. So, but yeah, that is the slate here for college basketball. I mean, fire slate. We're back in a routine. You got your Monday gross slate, maybe a couple good bangers. Tuesday, fire top to bottom consistently. P5, MAC, all that. And then Wednesday, it's a bunch of those conferences sprinkled in. Then you got like CAA conference, all those other great ones. And then Thursday, Big West, Summit League. I mean, you name it. Thursday's a little more mid-major madness there. And then Friday, you got your random games, MAC and stuff like that. And then your Saturday big stuff. So 1 and 2 on the mega shows Saturday for being in the green. I'll try to improve that. We'll get up for that and get rolling this week. 5 and 7 today, not my best, but I think tomorrow I'm really feeling confident about it. And Super Tuesday. Chat, you guys are freaking awesome. Let's go. It's been rolling here, been flowing to say the least. Yeah, I'm a douchebag, but no, totally joking for the most part. But yeah, I can't get a haircut because I'm too focused on college basketball and what these lines are, although we don't know the games and analyzing very much. But we do owe you a rhythm play of the day. Let's see here what we got here on the CBB method. I already shouted out a couple plays already, to say the least, but it's a lot on me. I got a lot on my plate here. Let's go ahead and take the over in Wisconsin, UCLA. I think we get this done. UCLA off the bounce back offensively, putting up 61 against Iowa, and Wisconsin defensively has been an issue. So one of those plays I shouted out, it hit. So yeah, Rhythm likes some overs tomorrow. They like LSU as a parlay piece, so maybe add LSU to that Houston, Kansas, Tennessee moneyline parlay along with LSU. I may end up taking that. Check the picks page there. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. I can't say it enough. Just being here, the support you guys have shown. It's been such a fun year. Let's keep this thing rolling. Keep it going. Good listener in the chat, Jeff Sharp. I saw he was like, where are you guys going with this? I was reading some of the comments. I'm not a comment reader, but I went and read through some of the comments. I don't know where we're going with this. It was just a fun thing for Trevor and Nick originally and I to do. But it ended up kind of being, getting a little more serious, and we were winning and doing pretty good. So I don't know, but I know in the present moment, I like to be here in the present, focusing on this. And each day we're going to show up for you, other than Saturday nights, of course, and give it our all. Win or lose, we show up, and we're transparent about it as well. And it's been fun. So we're going to continue just riding it out, taking this momentum strong, and a lot of things to come. In the chat, appreciate all your guys' support. It means a ton. Yeah, can't say it enough. So rhythm play of the day, UCLA, Wisconsin over 152.5. Check the picks page on that parlay optimizer that we'll hit. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I think it's going to be normal time tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier like we did tonight, 10:45 or so Eastern. Yeah, it's going to be another good one. We got more games tomorrow, some banger ones for sure. But enjoy your Super Tuesday. Crack a beer. Don't be afraid to crack a beer after your workday Tuesday. Make a little mixy or something. Enjoy your night. It's good bangers. We got top 25 games. We got good mid-major games sprinkled in. We got good P5 games across the board. I'm excited for it. Tuesdays are always fun in conference play. I appreciate everybody. Let's freaking go. Laundry, that's how we're going to take it out here. Haircuts are temporary. College basketball is forever. Yes, indeed, it is. College basketball is the best. It is the best sport. You don't know what the heck we're going to get at all. So I haven't played this in a while. We'll leave this with you since it's just me. I don't have to make the others wait and listen to this. So, yeah, let's go. Cheers, everyone. Thanks.
It amazes you, then you don't know anything about basketball. You're illuminating your relative lack of knowledge of the game with a statement like that. Basketball has been full of that kind of thing. You know, you have a team that plays a little bit better today than maybe it normally plays, and a team that doesn't play quite as well as it's capable of playing, and you get a big differential in a score. Next time the two teams play, maybe the team that played real well doesn't play quite as well. The other team plays a little bit better. Just a reversal of the first time. I don't think the home court has anything to do with it. I think that you get...
All right, everyone. Peace and love, toodles, whatever we say. And Trevor, rhythm play of the day is Wisconsin, UCLA over 152.5. Let's rock and roll. Appreciate all you guys. It's been a hell of a time. Like and subscribe. Hit that like button on this video. Go log into your partner's phone, neighbor's phone, whoever. Go steal someone's phone. No, don't do that. Or maybe do. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's freaking go.